So this video I'm making for you all who are single, thinking of marrying, not really knowing exactly how to know that the person that's in front of you is, marriage material, or, God really wants you to marry that person, or like it's okay to marry that person. I am here with how many? 10 points on how to know that God sent you that person and that this person is okay to marry, right? Because a lot of the times people say certain things like, I didn't get a dream, I didn't get any like clear sign from God, so how do I know that the person is from God if I didn't get any vision, any dream, any revelation, just anything whatsoever from God? How do I know that person is still good? So basically, for me, right? Me and my husband, I did get a dream, okay, that this man was my husband, and I did get a vision also. But it's not always like that, okay? God doesn't work the same for everyone. There's a verse that actually says that. I'm gonna put it right here. There's a verse that actually says that God doesn't do the same thing for everyone. Okay, just because I had a dream and a vision, it doesn't mean you will. But I'm here with 10 signs that you can marry that person. Number one, you feel at ease during and after hanging out with that person, right? It just makes sense, okay? You feel refreshed, you feel energized again. You are playing the conversations, the activities that you guys did on that day, right? And it's all very much like, okay, like this was good, I feel good around that person. Because a lot of the times we ignore our intuition, and God give it to us for a reason. Okay, so that's point number one. Point number two, you pray about them and you never receive any bad dream about the person, any vision or any revelation of any sort that the person is bad for you, right? So that's a good sign. Okay, say that you're a Christian, you believe in God, and obviously you pray about the person. You ask God to remove them if they're not good for you. You ask God to show you if they're your person, and God never showed you anything, right? Then okay, that's a good sign, okay? Because a lot of the times we're waiting for God to show us that they are the right person. But if you pray and ask God to remove them if they're the wrong person, or you ask God to show you a sign and he never shows you any sign, that's more on the good side, that there's nothing wrong, okay? It's kind of like when you go to a doctor's visit and they take your blood, they take your information and everything, and they tell you if something is wrong, we'll call you, but if nothing is wrong, we won't call you. So it's the same idea, okay? So that's point number two. Point number three, your family and your church people have vetted him or her, and no one can say that they sniff anything wrong about that person, right? So that's why it's important that you bring around that person, like you bring them around to your family. If you're a church person, you bring them to your church. If you're not a church person, it's okay. You bring them around family, people you care about, people that care about you, not people who are jealous or have a reason to sabotage you. No, you bring them around people who have your best interest in heart, who are really trying to see about that person. You don't even have to tell your people, hey, I'm bringing this person around to vet. No, it's actually more interesting and better for you if you just invite that person over without telling people, I want you to vet them. Like, let things happen organically, okay? Because if you tell your people, I'm bringing someone around, I want y'all to let me know what, like, if the person is good or what's wrong with the person, then with that mindset, people will be guarded and kind of like look for something wrong with that person. You don't want that. You want them to hang around people that love you and that you love, and then anything that naturally comes up with your loved ones, they will tell you when the person is gone, okay? So don't tell people, I want you to vet them. No. That's what I did when my husband was courting me. Brought him around to our church folks, brought him around my family, and then afterwards they just tell me things just naturally, okay? So make sure you don't keep the person for yourself. Make sure you bring them around people, because a lot of the times there are things you won't see. Okay, there are things you won't see, and it's other people who will see it for you. Okay, it's really important. That's like a very important piece. Okay. Number 4, when the person is talking, they talk about us, they talk about we, and you see that they have a clear timeline to marry. Okay, you see them include you in your plan. There's a difference between that and future faking. I'm not talking about someone who just met you this week and they're saying, I see you in my future, da da da. No, no, no. I'm not talking about future faking. I'm talking about someone you've gotten to know for a while, and you notice that without even them trying or realizing what they're saying, you notice that they're saying we a lot. You notice that they're saying us. Like, you notice that they want you in their future. Okay, not someone who's saying it to manipulate you, but you can tell when someone is just saying something or they are saying something because it's true. You can tell that they're not trying to force it to say we, to say us. Okay, so that piece is important. Okay, and there's a difference between that and future faking, because future faking is someone who you've met this week and they're already talking about marriage, us, we, vacation, this and that. Okay, no to that. Okay, next point. Point number 5. When you ask them why they want to marry you, they can answer that. It's important. Okay, it's important that when you ask the person, why do you want to marry me, they have an answer for you. Okay, they know why they want to marry you, and pay attention to the answer too. You don't want the answer to be about things that you do for them, or things that you have. Be very careful. Okay, when you ask them why they want to marry you, you want them to say things about your character. You want them to say things about they've gotten to know you. Okay, and y'all mesh. You look for the same things. You are similar in those ways. You are different in those ways, and that's why I'm drawn to you. Things like that. If they start saying things like, yeah, I could see myself being financially free once I'm with you because you manage money well and you make a lot of money. Or if they say certain things like, you make me feel good, you compliment me a lot, when I'm with you, we look good together, we're aesthetically pleasing. Please, like, cut. I'm not saying cut, but I'm just saying, like, hey, take more time to get to know that person. Don't rush it with them. And just pay attention, okay? Number 6, your morals and your values align almost perfectly. What do I mean by morals and values? I really mean like someone who is a good person just by nature, okay? Someone that, you guys mesh well, okay? Values such as you both want kids, or neither of you want kids, or both of you are in good standing with God, or neither of you really do church like that. And by morals I really mean like the person is a good person towards everyone, not just you because they're interested romantically in you, but someone who is a good person, who respects people, who's kind to people. They have good morals and they have good values. Okay, it's important. Number 7, you know of each other's flaws and shortcomings, and you both welcome them, you both work on them, you both even like them as they make the person more unique. So it's important to not push to the side the person's shortcomings and not even get to know the person's flaws. It's important to know them and see to it that that's something you can live with, and that's something you both recognize, that's something you both already talk about, that's something that's being worked on, and even to the point that it's something that you both welcome and you like that the person has this flaw because it makes them unique. Okay, it makes them them, and you even like that flaw. Okay, it's really important. My baby's trying to be in the frame. Like, you are way too young to like cameras like that. Okay, number 8. Okay, they are not struggling with things that will definitely ruin the union, such as lust, such as addiction, such as financial immaturity. Okay, these are things that, hey, If you really love that person, make sure you tackle on more months and more years to, allow them to work on themselves, allow them to really like get rid of those issues, pray about them, fast about them, like cleanse themselves out. But personally, me, if someone has an addiction of any sort, I would not even entertain that, because it's something that is too ingrained in you that I'm good. I'm good. But if you really love that person and you want to make it work, you really got to make sure you give them time to work on themselves, okay? Things such as lust, like I said, addiction, anything with finance, because we know that it's a big factor and it's something that really does lead to divorce, okay? And also, if you want any further explanation on any of these points that I mentioned or will mention, go ahead and leave it in the comment, because I don't want this video to be too long. So I'm just mentioning those points and saying, one or two sentences about them, really. Point number 9, you and their family mesh on some level. Mind you, I say some level. I never said y'all have to mesh like coffee and milk. I never said that, okay? Because somebody's family obviously will not, like, you're a new person, okay? And people are allowed to just respect you and be cool around you, but the love thing, it has to be like, if it happens, it happens. But you gotta mesh on some level. You gotta be able to come around and they respect you, they're kind towards you, they welcome you. But don't expect for the person's family to love you 100% for whatever reason, okay? As long as there's mutual respect, we're good, okay? And there's no weird energy, weird vibes when you come around, okay? Number 10, and that's important. Number 9 is really important, because a lot of people think when you marry one person. I'm in the middle. I don't think you marry just one person, and I don't think you marry the family. I'm in the middle in terms of, you got to make sure you're good around them, okay? And last but not least, if y'all are Christians, then make sure the person loves God independently and follows God independently. Not them following God because they want to get with you. No. But if they're not Christian, then make sure that the person is a great person still, okay? They treat people with respect and kindness. The person is transparent, okay? They tell you what they've done in the past that might affect y'all once you figure them out. They tell you about things that they see themselves doing in the future. They put you in their plans. Like, if something happens at work with the opposite sex, they tell you right away. This is not the type of person that will just answer questions when you ask them something. But this is the type of person that will tell you about something, okay? They're transparent. They're transparent. They tell you. They want you to be involved, okay? Before you find out, they're upfront. On the same point, someone who don't raise their voice at you when they're upset, when they're mad, when they're angry. We're allowed to be angry. It's in this verse, okay? We're allowed to be angry, okay? But it's someone who don't raise their voice at you. It's someone who can sit down and calmly talk about things, okay? On the same point, someone with integrity, someone with good work ethic, someone who has the spirit of working together, okay? They want to work together as a team. And going back on the word integrity, it's someone that really, how can I say it? With the word integrity, I really mean someone who doesn't need people around to do the right thing, okay? Someone, if they see somebody's money fall out of their pockets, they will not just grab the money or step on it and wait until the person is gone to grab the money. It's someone who just does good just because they know it's good to do good. Someone with integrity. Google that word, because I could say a lot about the word integrity, but do your research and make sure that the person you're dating has integrity. And on that point, that's all I had. Thank you so much for watching. Comment below if you have any questions on any point that I raised. Like and subscribe, and I'll be coming back with more of these kinds of videos about dating, about marriage, about how to really get from dating to marriage, what you should look out for, okay? and all of that good stuff. Because before me and my husband got married, we did get premarital counseling from our church. And so I remember a lot of the good points that the pastor mentioned, and we use them still to this day, okay? And I want to share that with you. So please subscribe so that when I post my next video, you are able to see it and watch it and just take all of the points that I'm making that can help you, okay, in your journey. So again, thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the comments and also on the next video.